Clearly, look, this is a major decision. There was concern this was going to happen in some form or another. This is the extreme decision. In other words, there was some expectation that they would accept abortions up to 12 weeks or some point along the way. Totally overturning Roe is a major, major event. It proves that most of the members of the Supreme Court lied, because in their confirmation hearings, whether it was Kavanaugh or Amy Klobuchar, they all stated that they believe in precedent, and they don't believe in overturning precedent. And here they're overturning a precedent from 1972. So this is a major change. It will certainly bring out the Democrats, bring out women to a very large extent, because this is a major overturning. But it also brings other questions. I mean, if you could overturn this, you can overturn Griswold versus Connecticut, which allows for contraception. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's the exact same legal theory. There's no mention of contraception in the U.S. Constitution, and yet the Supreme Court decided that was legal back in 1963, and then, of course, it changed the world to a very large extent. So once you can start going back and saying, well, we're going to be an originalist, only what's written in the Constitution, we're going to overturn decades of precedent, anything's on the table.
And if these reports are verified, the statement does say, I'll read it out, that the Supreme Court is poised to inflict the greatest restriction of rights in the past 50 years. And let's just assume for a moment that this draft opinion actually becomes a law of the land. This means that abortion would be illegal in 22 states. What are your thoughts?
Well, absolutely. It's returning it to the states. The majority of the states tend to be conservative, religious dominated, and what really happens often is that the loudest voices, and those tend to be the most religious activists, are the ones who become nominated on the Republican side, and they often win. I think this will bring about a change. I mean, suddenly you're going to see women saying, wait a second, they sort of accepted that Roe was accepted law. Not that anyone was in favor of abortion generally. In other words, I think the statement that President Clinton once said it should be legal and rare is how most people believe. I mean, contraception should be the way of taking care of issues like this. But I think most people believe, most women certainly, that the women should have the right to decide and men shouldn't decide for them. And here you're going to have overturning all of this. And again, the underlying change here is willing to throw out precedent for such a long period of time, plus once you eliminate this precedent, almost all of the rights that have been granted Americans in the last 100 years are not mentioned in the Constitution explicitly. So what are you saying by doing this?
And also, Marc, just finally, with the legality of this procedure, if it does happen, will it become, do you think, a vicious political battleground, especially amid the election year?
This is what's going to save the Democratic Party in this election. I have no doubt. The one thing that the Republicans really didn't want, you don't hear them. I've already received fundraising letters from the Democrats, not from the Republicans, but I'm on both lists. And the reality is this is going to bring out the Democratic vote. It's going to bring out people who are saying, well, it's not that important, who really cares. They'll come out and vote this time. And I think this is the one thing that can change the calculus going into the midterms. And I think we're going to see that happen.
Thank you very much, Marc Schulman. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much for helping us delve into the topic a little more. Thank you.